You're now outside the Beltway. I'm John Frederickson. I am your blowtorch of free speech in America. Great to have you with us as always. We've got Todd Sheets. We've got Alfredo Ortiz, the CEO of the Job Creators Network. We got them together. Let's put them in a 3-box, one of my favorite segments all week. Great to have you guys with us. Alfredo, you're going to lead us off because you got a pretty cool op-ed that was in, I think, the Washington Examiner that I saw. If not, if I'm correct, talking about what's going on with the shutdown jobs. Can you elaborate on that, Alfredo Ortiz?
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, the most recent piece that I had was against our good old Spanberger there and all the lies that he's been doing there, especially. But was unbelievably grotesque, really, was her continued reluctance to basically pull her endorsement of the Democrat Attorney General, Jay Jones. He said, and I quote, let me make sure I said this right, "I will go to their funerals on their graves," he wrote, referring to state Republicans, to send them out awash in something. Just horrible that she hasn't actually repealed her endorsement of it. And of course, everything she stands for is the antithesis of what has made Virginia wonderful under Governor Youngkin so far and all the progress that Governor Youngkin has made. And so obviously we're not fans of her. And, I think, we all know there's early voting going on pretty soon here. And we all hope people go out and vote the values that have really made Virginia great again.
Tyler, let's go ahead and run that ad where Winsome Sears is talking directly about these texts to Abigail Spanberger. Let's roll that.
I'm Winsome Sears, candidate for governor, and I sponsored this ad.
Would it take him pulling the trigger? Is that what would do it? And then you would say he needs to get out of the race? Abigail, you have nothing to say? Abigail, what if he said it about your 3 children? Is that when you would say he should get out of the race, Abigail?
Alfredo and Todd, I think that's one of the most powerful ads I've ever seen. It's riveting when you just look at her face, staring into the abyss, and she won't even turn and address her opponent, a black woman. I also think it is racist. I mean, turn and answer the question from your opponent. She's an empty suit CIA spook that basically now has been exposed. And she can't even answer a simple question. She hasn't answered a simple question. Oh, word salad. Alfredo.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking Todd. But yes, no, it's just absolutely crazy. I mean, he suggested that given the choice between Adolf Hitler, Pol Pot, and former state Republican House Speaker Todd Gilbert, he'd kill Gilbert every time.
Crazy.
I mean, the fact that, again, that she is not pulling her endorsement of him is just ridiculous. I mean, she's just not fit for office. And I certainly hope Winsome Sears, who is a true patriot, a soldier for our country, and has fought so well and so valiantly for our values, does well here.
She's closing. Some polls have her in a virtual dead heat. Others have her down by 5. Youngkin's poll that I talked to him over the weekend had her down by 4. I mean, she was down by 17, 18, 19. Now she's down by 4. Campaign was not very well run in the first part of it, but the last couple of weeks has been really on message. She's gained discipline. Her consultant, Mark Harris, has done a really good job in getting this thing back together. Todd, she also is going to cancel right to work in Virginia. So on one hand, she's complaining about, oh my God, you're doing nothing about all these federal workers that don't have a job. And then when she comes in, the first thing she's going to do is cancel right to work, which means you aren't going to get the job inflow here that you've always had. How does that even make sense, Todd?
Yeah, well, it doesn't make any sense. And, listening to you guys talk about this, it just makes me think so much. We've heard so much of this Hitlerization of Trump and Nazification of his supporters. And if you boil it down, I think there's a couple of things we've talked in the past about, there's a regime change going on in what narrative is going to lead the country forward. And we've had a certain narrative that started, back in the 60s and has extended for decades since then. We're now in the midst of this change. And this is the kind of ugliness that you see, the comments by Jay Jones, I think was the name of the person here who I've heard on a number of different times, these kinds of things coming out where every now and then you get a light shining into what's going on beneath the surface of a party. And this is the kind of hatred that's there. The same thing with calling Trump Hitler every chance that they get. It's the kind of thing that is creating this culture of anger and retribution that is then sparking. And I'm not saying this is a conspiracy of any sorts, of people in the rooms doing these things, but then there are disturbed individuals out there who are feeling all of this anger and hatred. And they're the people that take a shot at Charlie Kirk, or they take a shot at an ICE building. And I really think that's what all of this is about. This calling Trump Hitler, that's the ultimate expression of the cancel culture that they got away with for 20 years until Trump came into the scene and started punching back against these guys. And I think that's what's going on out there right now.
Well, their narrative now is Trump voters are communists, are Nazis, and our narrative is they're communists. Ours is accurate, theirs is not. But they're really grasping at straws, and they have nothing except filing a lawsuit so our troops can't get paid. I mean, the insanity is beyond belief. Alfredo, got about 2 minutes. I'm going to give you the final word here.
Yeah, well, I mean, just kind of to put a finer point just on her positions too, by the way. I mean, just as we're talking about this, I mean, remember she was also she supported legislation in Congress on the PRO Act. And the PRO Act is basically a laundry list, a wish list for big labor overall in the unions. And it is so anti-small business. I mean, I'm telling you, Virginia has done an amazing job under Governor Youngkin. I think it's one of the top states basically to do business in. Boy, it's going to lose that moniker pretty quickly if these kinds of policies go through, because we all know what that means. And this is bad for Virginia and, bad for the country. So, again, we're obviously not big fans of hers, and we certainly wish Winsome Sears luck on this one. But
we're starting our bus tour. We're starting our bus tour next week. You were on the bus tour that we did in 2023, I believe.
Yep.
Trying to win the Senate back, and you were a big sponsor of that and came with us on a bunch of the stops. But we're going to keep fighting. We got this whole thing now comes to getting the vote out. We've got the early voting numbers are there for us. They're basically reaching the target we had to do. That's not been easy to get our people out to vote early. They want to vote on game day and tell me about algorithms or servers on the moon or some nonsense. That's all it is. Clickbait. Go vote early. Vote early. Vote early. Get your vote banked. We don't have to spend any money on you. We know you're there. And then we can spend the money on getting those lower propensity Trump voters out in Southwest Virginia. If we can do that on this bus tour, Winsome Sears is going to be your next governor. I want to thank
I'll try to see if I can see you on that tour there, John.
I'll send you a link. Good to see you guys. Go to joinjcn.com. Joinjcn.com. Mark makes next.